İnşallah we are set. Esselamu Aleyküm ve Rahmetullah. Euzu billahi mineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbena la tuâkhidna in nesînâ ev ahta'nâ. Rabbena ve la tahmil aleyna isran kemâ hamaltehu alellezîne min qablina. Rabbena ve la tuhammilna mâ la tâqate lenâ bih. Ve'fu anna veğfir lena verhamna ente mevlana fensurna alel kavmil kafirin. Sadakallahul azim. Okay. Inshallah, we are going to start where we left off last week for the story of the Prophet Yusuf, and we were studying the story of the Prophet Yusuf from the section Yusuf of the Quran, and we studied up to the verse 8. Now, when they said, they means here Yusuf's brothers. Yusuf and his brothers are dearer to our father than we are. Though we are a strong group, our father is certainly in clear error. This is a very interesting attitude of those people who don't appreciate the value of consciousness. So human conscience. So they attribute the power to the group or strength. That is what the principle of the secular societies are. Might is right. So what they did, they were jealous of Yusuf and the Prophet Yusuf, and the Prophet Yusuf was dearer to his father. What does it mean? Not because his father favors him, because his father is pro-human conscience. It was human reality and human spirit, you can call it, what the spirit of human beings inspire to all humanity. So we understand that the brothers have a materialistic mind, so they will now compare the value of following one's conscience, which is human nature. The other one is following his own view of the world, which is the stronger one fits the nature and survives better. Might is right is the slogan of these secular societies. So brothers are in number much bigger than Yusuf and his brother, his another brother, which was who was dearer to Yusuf and to his father, therefore, because his father was following human nature rather than human apparent power, so that the power will be right. In fact, that is what is going on in the world as well as in ourselves. If we have enough money, if we have enough financial support, if we have enough family support, we feel secure. But we have to give priority to our conscience. It means what my human reality tells me, what the truth is, follow human conscience. So those people who believe in ghaib, it means spirit recognizes ghaib. Spirit is not for this universe, doesn't see the value of this material existence, but spirit is from the creator of this world, and the spirit itself recognizes its creator, its owner. So spirit follows the value of the creator rather than value of this world. This world itself is matter and multitude world, whereas the creator or the ghaib is absolute, unique. It means you cannot count it. As far as the ghaib is concerned, only right and wrong is the only option. Whether something is true or something is false. True is approved, truth is approved, false is rejected. That is the criterion. But here on this world, if you are stronger, you are better, those weak people or weak nations must be subjugated to under the power of the strong ones, material strong ones. That's why they were jealous of Yusuf and their father's love for the reality, for the truth. So we will follow what these people will say depending on their power now. Verse 9, kill Yusuf or cast him away in some other land, then the attention of your father will be exclusively for you. It means for the ones who are representing the multitude, or greatness in number, greatness in power, not greatness in truth. So the Father will be exclusively for you, and after that you become righteous people. Now it is very interesting. Those people who attach value to power, they want to kill consciousness or suppress it so that it will not speak, it will not really disturb them. That is what is going on. All people who have power in their hand and rely on their power, what they want to do, they want to kill the prophets, they want to really dysfunction the prophets, and they want to destroy the revelation that God sends as guide to humankind. That's what their main aim is, because they don't want anyone who may not be, not necessarily should be, but may not be materially powerful. It means really quantitatively better, may not be quantitatively higher or bigger. And see them, they are comfortable in their life. They are joyful. They are happy with the creation, therefore the creator. They don't want to see them as examples. That's why they want to suppress them. They want to make them look miserable and ridicule them and use them for their employment. It means utilize their power, etc. So they did that. The brothers wanted to kill Yusuf, hoping that their father will be exclusively leaned or uh, exclusively love them. If the consciousness, it means righteous people, loses their power, those people who think that they are powerful and they are the ones who are happiest people in the world, enjoying the beauty of universe, that's what they want to demonstrate. They don't want to see a miserable, poor person, miserable means materially, struggling for life, but happy, not having a beautiful clothes and dress, and not having a very shelter, very well decorated shelter house, and not being able to have good food or delicious food, but poor food. They may be delicious if you are hungry, but looking expensive, let's say it in this way, expensive. And also, they are happy with their life. They don't complain. They don't suffer from stresses, depressions, etc. But of course, something happen to them physically, illness may happen to them. There is no separation as far as the material treatment or treatment in material forms. But as far as the spiritual life is concerned, there is a great difference, that incomparable difference between believing people who enjoy the eternal happiness, while even in this world, they know that the end of this universe will end up with the eternal happiness. They are aware of it, and they feel comfortable because they feel their feelings are fully satisfied. Fair. On the other hand, those people who have the power, they only enjoy their temporary, transient, momentary life. But they don't really feel comfortable within themselves because their feelings, which desire eternity, eternal happiness, are not satisfied. They know that one day they will die and everything they own will have nothing to do with them. That bothers them a lot. So they wanted to kill the consciousness, Joseph, so their father will have no power, material power, so he will really admire those people who have power, people who have power in many ways, maybe the material power, maybe financial power, maybe authority, maybe have an honorable situation among the people who attach value to material values. They admire. We see that, if you are careful, so those people who don't have this material power but dying for it, admiring the rich people, they have a slavery spirit. When they see the rich people or honorable people in the society, honorable people, not really honorable human beings, but as regarded by the people as honorable people, when they see them, they admire them. Of course, those people, the admirers, the ones who are celebrities, etc., they feel great. When they lose their power, at least when they get older, what happens to them? They have the most miserable life. So because they lost their worshippers, their admirers, because they don't worship them, they don't admire their beauty, their well clothes, etc. Who cares anymore after they get old? Then they fall into a complete despair. We see that Of course, this is our duty to pay attention to ourselves. So we have to pay attention to ourselves and check whether I am admiring those people who have higher status materially in many ways, but material, not spiritually, more comfortable than me. I should not admire them, just as a normal standard human beings, treat them nicely, but never should have admiration in ourselves. But we should admire those people who have more spiritual comfort than we have. We should admire them. And we want to follow them. We have to seek the ways to find out, how can I be like them? How can I benefit from their spiritual satisfaction? So follow their way, maybe really take examples from their comfort rather than admiring them or being jealous of them. It is the case as well. These people are more comfortable, more satisfied with their life than I am. And what we do now, we turn a black heart, if you like, or hatred towards those people who are more successful in gaining the spiritual satisfaction or happiness. We have to be very careful. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't admire them, but at the same time, this admiration should not turn into jealousy. We have to be careful. Now, verse 10. Another of them said, don't kill Joseph. If you must do something, throw him into the dark depths of this well, where some caravan may pick him up and take it away. Because killing consciousness, one's conscience. Now we said that we are going to study this section as one man, one person, one man or woman, one person. We are not going to see three people. Joseph is here to 11 or whatever the number of the brothers, stronger, bigger in number, are there. And Joseph's father is here, different. No. Conscious is me. Joseph, my consciousness. Joseph's father, we said at the beginning of this story, my wisdom, that to decide which way I should take. Follow the powerful gang or the material power or conscience, which one? And then brothers say things materially, superficially through their mind, through their minds only, and they say without following wisdom, human wisdom. So they say we are stronger, they are weak. They don't see what is beyond this world. It means the owner side. We are called, the Quran calls it ghaib. Ghaib means the creator. So they don't see the creator. They see the world only existing being. So I have to pay attention to myself. So sometimes I may say, kill my consciousness, don't follow my consciousness, use my power and beat up my weak brother or sister, whatever, or parents, old parents, and really exercise. For example, I may be the director of a company. So there are people working under me, in my company, under my position, 20 people, 50 people. I may say, let me really exploit them. They cannot do anything. I am more powerful than, okay? And one side of me said, no, not this much. Get these people, just ignore them. Ignore them. Make their appearance dysfunctioning for me. just as if I will ignore them rather than really oppress them. Okay, get them away. That is what they do to the prophets in the examples given the examples given in the Quran. Either kill the prophets, it means completely ignore them at all, try to oppose them, reject them, and make them not really spreading their message to anyone, or expel them from their land. Go somewhere else. That is what is happening here also in verse 10. So don't kill, but make them in a humiliated position, throw him into the dark depth of this well, or a well, and anywhere where some caravan may pick him up, somebody may take him up, but it means really throw them away out of our society. It means one of way of the killing of consciousness is ridiculing them, not taking them seriously as if, for example, when those people who reject revelation, who reject prophet, how do they describe Islam? Be careful. You know, there's this religion. Which religion? The one who promises 72 virgins in paradise for the followers. That's why they kill themselves. So that idiot people. This is Islam, huh? You can see, you know, which kind of way they are doing it. Who is Muhammad? The one who is a very clever boy. Yeah, he used to be. He was a very clever boy. He really treated this desert Bedouins, it means really primitive people, with the threat of God. So otherwise, they wouldn't listen to him. It means a trickery. Man, forget about him. Yeah. What is Islam? Those people who believe in Allah, what is Allah? The moon god. Look at this. Now, you have been in Islam. Have you ever seen in Islam that people believe in God because 72 virgins? Because they believe in God as the moon god? What is it to do with it? This simple, I don't know, I don't really essentially agree with the symbol of crescent, symbolizing Islam. But this has happened and this is accepted. They symbolizes Islam with crescent and it symbolizes Christianity with the cross. I understand because Christians accept really the cross as their symbol. But as a believer in Islam, as the religion of Allah, I don't believe in crescent. It has nothing to do with Islam at all. Now, symbolically, historically, symbolically, is the crescent is likened to the bow, where the Quran uses the bow and arrow, bow and arrow. So the Quran likens the bow to symbolizes the miraj, which means the ascension, human understanding can reach so much that you can really pull the two sides of the opposite side of the bow, completely opposite sides of the bow represents the creator and the creature created. So becoming together as much as possible. It means the creatures are coming to realize the true understanding of God. This is the pinnacle of Miraj, ascension, prophetic ascension. This pole is symbolized in the heavenly beings as crescent. That is a kind of civilization developed in this way. It is nothing to say, nothing to do with sacredness at all, nothing to represent and symbolize the religion of Islam at all. It is just an historical development, let's say, in the minds of the people. Muslims, because of this legitimate example given in the Quran, and the crescent is the best example in the celestial body. That is why people adopted it. Anyways, those people who wanted to send the revelation or the prophetic message completely into the depth of any well, it means dysfunctionate, has no value. They use the words which ridicule Islam. So the people should say, these primitive people, forget about them. They shouldn't pay attention to it. That is their expectation. We have to be careful. If someone is very modest, if someone doesn't give real value, rather than God gives us property, you have it. And you use it, but keep modesty. Don't be proud of it. Don't show it. Especially, we have to be very careful with Instagram or Facebook exchanges. If Allah gives us a nice car or a nice food or dress, etc., or gives us the opportunity to observe the beautiful views, maybe beautiful views as created. Don't say that I saw it. That's what God creates, alhamdulillah. Very beautiful. You may share it, but not in the sense that I have been there on holiday. No. It causes jealousy. So, for example, you are invited for a dinner by your friend, and you have a very nice. The friend was very generous and presented to you a beautiful dinner. Looks like banquet. Take a picture and say that, we were visiting with somebody last night and we had dinner here. The dinner. Why do you do that? It is a very serious matter. Why do you do that? Are you really trying to arouse the sense of jealousy and envy in this person and saying that, no, I wasn't here, I missed the opportunity? Does it cause any thankfulness? Does it cause any thank to Allah? No, just jealousy. And then he goes to another way, the other person, and then he does the same thing. Oh, there is the hand, I think. Awesome. Okay, awesome. I should stop it. I just noticed it. I'm sorry. Okay.
No worries. That was earlier, but it's a good point about what you're making. The status updates that people do, I think it's becoming the norm in this society and culture to share what they're doing and all those things. But I wanted to ask about the verse 9, the latter part of it, and after that you become righteous people. So by getting rid of your consciousness or your conscience, and the association with the righteousness of the Father, how does that fit into, what does that really mean, that, hey, by killing one side of my human side, I'm just going to be righteous? Or if you understand the point.
Very, very, very good point. Thank you very much. Now, after that, you become righteous people. They are speaking, one of them is speaking to the rest of the group, gang. Number is not important. 11 people, 10, none of our business. So the gang, it means greater in number, bigger in number. That's it. Representing power. That's it. Material power. So you will be righteous means they, according to their criterion, when their father starts admiring them, supporting them, and appreciating their power rather than their truthfulness, they will have no comparison anymore. They will say, okay, according to our criteria, we will be right. Now, compared to Yusuf and his father, they are disgraced according to their understanding. Why? Look, these people love each other. They don't love us. It means they don't admire us. But when there is no point of comparison, they will feel by themselves, look, we are the only happy people enjoying our life in this world. They will think that they will be righteous. Right, this one, salih. Original word is من بعده قوما صالحين. So we will be the righteous group or the people. So you understood, inshallah. If it is not clear, they are speaking to themselves. I mean, one of them is speaking to the others, but according to their criteria, they will think they are righteous because there is no point of reference that they can compare. Got it? Inshallah. If not, please ask me or another brother, sister. Please go ahead and contribute.
I'm still not clear about, because I always thought about them, like myself, like when I'm thinking about I do something that I shouldn't be doing, I always say in my head, okay, I just do it this one time and then I will stop doing it later on. Or, this one time, it's okay. And then after that, inshallah, I will, it's easy to think about in terms of something easy. Let's say study, for example. I'll just go out and walk, or just go out and meet friends. Then I'll come back and study. I don't need to study now. So I understood this verse relating to me is the thing that I know that I should not be doing, but I allow myself to do it thinking, okay, after that, I'll make up. But as you're explaining it now, I'm not getting it. So Bismillah, if you can maybe try to explain it one more time. Jazakallah khair.
Thank you very much. Let's go over it again. Look at this word. اقتلوا يوسف أو اطرحوه أرضا. Throw him somewhere away. يخل لكم وجه أبيكم. Yeah. وتكونوا من بعده قوما صالحين. Look, after your father's face, now, will be for you only. It means your father will join you, admire you, appreciate you, and then Yusuf is not there. So father is representing wisdom. Wisdom appreciates the conscience, the truth. But if wisdom, human, according to them, is if wisdom appreciates the power, it means, for example, if you go and speak to these people, I believe you live in the United States, so ask them, most of the people, especially, patriotic people. So I'm sorry how to describe it. I don't know. Kindly being politically correct. I cannot manage that normally. Yeah. So these people, if they see that, if someone says to them, look, you know what? America is the most powerful nation in the world. We have the most powerful army. We have the highest level of technology. They really feel great and put another flag in front of their houses. That is what represents the brothers here, Yusuf's brothers here. Now, but if they see that some people are maybe less powerful, but they are having happier life. For example, hearing that people in Himalayas, living in Himalayas, they don't know what hospital is, they don't know what illness is. They live 110 years. And they may be very skinny, but they have no problem in their life. What they do, they admire them. But of course, inside, jealousy covers them. So I don't know how else we can understand this, that we can be really righteous people if our Father, it means human reasoning, but not human rationality. There's the difference between reasoning and rationality. So human reasoning follows conscience. I call it human wisdom. Follows conscience. Then those people who think that they are losing their values as compared to those people who follow the conscience, their conscience. So what they want to do, they want to shut the conscience up so that the reasoning will be left only with one option, which admiring the power. So they will say, okay, everybody admires me. Everybody wants to be like me in my position. So he will feel comfortable within them, with himself or with her, within herself. So I don't know how else we can make sense of it. So personally now, I have to say, look, I may desire some, for example, to gain something, to have a car, to have a house, and to have a comfortable, in winter warm, in summer cool house, and also good opportunity, nice dress. I may want this, but if I don't really see that this is a gift present from my Creator, then what I will do, I will turn it into a means of pride. And because I have this, I am superior. But if someone doesn't have it, then he has a much more relaxed, a happy life. He cannot really accept it. So he wants to get rid of it. That's what I understood from this verse 9, 10, or 8, 9, 10. I don't know whether it makes sense.
So the analogy that I'm getting is the analogy of Pharaoh and Moses, who people were following Pharaoh at the beginning, but now people are following Moses. So Pharaoh wants he wants to get rid of Moses so that people can have only one option, which is to follow him and to see him as the only way, and taking the pride, mulk Masr وهذه, like I own all of this. What does this one who cannot even speak well have? Well, I own all of this. Is that the same analogy? Is that
Yeah, why? Yes, that is correct. I agree with you.
Okay.
Even we can extend the same way of reasoning. All other people who rejected the Prophet, they wanted to shut them up, including the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam.
Yes, so that they become the only salih, so
Yeah.
that people can view them as the only. Ana rabbukum, I'm the one, like, you know, it is, and ana ahdikum, I'm the one who guides you to what is right. Okay, I get it now. Jazakallah khair.
There is no alternative. How can you imagine that your slave hates you and admires another poor guy out there? How can you digest it? Because your slave is not admiring you, hating you, but admiring somebody else who, in your eye, or according to your criteria, he has no value. Can you bear it? It is impossible. It is impossible unless you change from inside, from within. It is impossible to bear it, not to be jealous. But the revolution, the change, radical change, must take place within our heart or our intention, so that we will really recover ourselves.
So now I get it. What was puzzling me, and maybe others, was that then we'll become righteous people afterwards. It wasn't really their intention to become righteous, because as you're making a decision to go against truth, you cannot in the same second make the decision that I would be righteous while you're making it. But what it meant, and this is what I'm getting, is that what it meant is that so I can appear righteous, so that people will perceive me as righteous.
Now, to be precise, my friend, beloved friend, Halia. So, to be precise, not appear to be righteous, but according to my criterion, I will be righteous. But because they don't question their criteria, the problem is there. Power is right. Might is right. They don't question the legitimacy of this criterion, their criterion. As long as if someone doesn't change his mind that might is right is wrong, truth is right, then this person, this people's understanding of righteousness according to them. But I appreciate you. In which case, when I read, I don't want to criticize some people at least. When I read some classicals, they understand, as you said. Let's not repeat it.
And this is, and that's what this is. That's why this thought is in my head, because that's how I always read it. But it makes a lot of sense. Before, it wasn't something that I can apply, but now I can see how it becomes applicable. Like Pharaoh, he believed really that his might is right. I own Egypt, I own everything. I tell you what's right. And this voice that comes, it annoys me. If I silence it, everyone will come back and stay on the path of seeing me as the owner and the guide as right. Yeah. Thank you for giving us new perspectives.
It took me long. So I was puzzled. How can they be righteous by gaining the love of their father? I mean, Salih, because we are used to understanding Salih in the positive sense that the mu'mins are Salih. By gaining your father's attention, you cannot become Salih, as the Quran's general usage of the word Salih for the believers. You only you must change yourself within yourself, then you can become a salih, which requires belief, first of all. A salih person requires belief. And without belief, your father loves you so that I will be a good person. Impossible. Impossible. It means everybody should admire you. So I had a long struggle to get out of this understanding. But alhamdulillah, due to some other, although few in number, scholars, alhamdulillah, I said, yeah, it must be this way. So I don't want to compare it, but you put me in the position to compare it. And I said, yeah, I understand. My friend Aliyah is the same, going through the same problem as I did. So, inshallah, I only share what my conclusions are, inshallah. All right, let's go move one more because we really, time is, okay. So, let's see this one. Let's go. All right, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The man from Egypt who bought him, I'm jumping. Okay, what happened? I'm not interested in physical appearances. Okay, Yusuf was thrown into the well when treated. Their father tried to cheat, but wisdom. Father is a wise man because father's position represents human wisdom, as far as I understand. So he said, no, I'm not going to swallow. I'm not going to buy into your excuses, but what shall I do? It is done. It's finished. Getting angry and beating here, this person or that person doesn't help, doesn't change the reality. So he's a calm person. Of course, he's very famous for his patience as well. So he just took refuge with Allah and chose to be patient. So these are the stories, but it doesn't really, they don't really relate to my daily struggle. So this is the story. We are looking only Joseph's story now. In principle, we follow Joseph's story. Something to do with Joseph, representing conscious rationality. Again, I have to repeat 10 times a day in a class. Not rationalism. Rationalism means denying rejection, accepting that reason is this only source of truth. That is rationalism. But using one's reasoning, being rational, is what we have to do as Jacob, Yusuf's father, did here, inshallah. So the men from Egypt, we have to understand that, and the brothers are representing materialist worldview. This is what we have, these three main possibilities to incline towards. Okay, the man from Egypt who bought him said to his wife, now, consciousness is, or conscience is sent away and enslaved. But even the conscience is enslaved. What happens as far as the reality of existence is concerned, we will see now. So the person bought him. Aziz is the chief administrator of the society, bought him under his now control, not his service. Look after him well. The owner now is telling to his wife, he may be useful to us. It's ridiculous. It is very interesting. Look at this. This man isn't a politician. It is just a administrator, politician. Wants to utilize conscience. Or we may adopt him as our son. It was really make a partner for us. Yeah, use conscience with us in order to really benefit from it. Not really, I will follow the conscience. No, no. For example, some people, even atheist politicians, when they rally for the for the elections, what do? Yesterday I was in my church and my priest or whatever master told me or mentor told me this, inferring that he is a religious man. Why? Because he wants to get the votes of the religious people, not because he believes in it. That's how it happens most of the time. Not always, but most of the time. He may be useful to us, or we may adopt him as a son. In this way, look, that is their thought plan. But in this way, we, God says, gave Joseph a firm place on earth. Now, although apparently he is enslaved, he is a slave, but he was a young at the beginning of his development. So in improving the conscience is becoming aware of himself. So he will have a firm place on earth in this material world, so that the conscience will develop safely. Because although he seems to be a slave in the house, materially helping them whatever they want him to do, but himself is now free from oppression of his brothers. It means we're powerful people. Now, under the protection of the powerful people, although they have a bad intention, at least not good intention, but at the same time, he feels safe. And also, he will have an opportunity there to learn, to educate himself. Because of this political situation, it means intellectual people will come, political power people will come, discuss the matters of the country, etc. So how to deal with this problem this country is undergoing, etc. And then he will be training, he will be educated there. Look at God's wisdom. Look at their opportunity. Look at the brother's position. Now take this all together, put into yourself. You may use consciousness in order to be successful in this world. We may, not only you, but I may use my consciousness in order to be successful in this world. I may use my wisdom, my reasoning, rationality, in order to be successful in my worldly life. I may try to do that. That is why I don't want to kill consciousness, rationality, but at the same time, subjugate it to my usage. Do you see what I mean? It happens within myself. Okay, and we did so, God is speaking now, so that we could teach him the interpretation, the inner real meaning of events in this world. Do you understand? It's a very interesting word. This, we will teach him. Okay, now. وَلِنُعَلِّمَهُ مِنْ تَأْوِيلِ الْأَحَادِيثِ. Now, ta'wil. Are you familiar with the word ta'wil? In interpretations? So there are the very famous verse in the Quran, very famous, everybody knows. There are muhkam, it means well established, clearly stated verses in the Quran, and also this analogical explanations of the things, parables, etc., explaining the things like we are reading in the story of Yusuf, verses. Those people who have swerved intention, their hearts are swerved, deviated, not on the right track. What they do, they ta'wil, they interpret these verses, which gives possibility, opportunity to interpret them as you want, as we are doing here. But with the swerved heart, it only ends up with betrayal or completely dalale. It means in the wrong way. It's very simple. Put it in the very simple language. Or the lost. They will be lost. But here, God is teaching Yusuf ta'wil, the same word. But in this way, ta'wil al-ahadith, more ambiguous than verses, this mutashabih verses, very ambiguous, not very clear, but the ahadith, the creation, what is happening here in this world, events, it is more difficult to interpret really. God is providing a nice place, secure place for conscience to learn how to interpret, how to disclose the real meaning within what apparently happening in the world, political stratagems, maneuvers, and all the people's trying to impose themselves in one way or another, using technical words and wearing a scientist's clothes and on it, and appearing to be and standing in front of a camera and taking a video or making a program that as if endless number of books at the back, etc. I really get annoyed with them. What are you doing, man? Are you imposing people with that I am a knowledgeable man, you must admire me, or what do you mean? Or you must trust me because I am a knowledgeable man. Okay? Pharaoh was very knowledgeable. Pharaoh's advisors were very knowledgeable. Qarun was very knowledgeable. Pharaoh's advisors are much more knowledgeable. For Pharaoh's magicians were very knowledgeable and tried to compete with the prophetic message. Knowledge is nothing. That's why I hate showing knowledge. But sometimes I have to say it. It just happened a while ago here, now, today. Anyways, but that is, we have to be very careful. So, inshallah, let's come back. It's out of time now. So that we could teach him the interpretation of the event, ta'wil. Ta'wil in the hand of a bad intention takes you astray from the right path. In the hands of a good intention puts you on the right way. God always prevails in his purpose, but most people don't know this, of course. But very, very important verse, this, Wallahu ghalibun ala amri. If you go to Indonesia and this famous palace there, what was the name? I forgot the name of the palace. I went there. Oh, it's really beautiful. And everywhere is decorated with this, Wallahu ghalibun ala amri, Wallahu ghalibun ala amri. That was the, I think, fundamental maybe mantra of Indonesian and Indonesia empire that time. Muslims, Wallahu ghalibun ala amri. So inshallah, God always prevails in his power. So we conclude from this that conscious also needs training in order to operate. For example, child is created pure, but his consciousness is really not developed. He has to learn. That is why I also understand that this is the early age of Yusuf, because he was so young child, and the brothers could easily took him and put him into the whale. So it shows that a young boy, and also the language of the Quran infers this as well. So he in this world, we have to educate ourselves as well, so that our conscience is pure, but needs to educate itself so that it will really flourish and start operating, functioning. So God's plan always is different from our plan. We have to make our plan with a good intention or the bad intention, whatever. This Aziz, how do you say, chief minister of the country says, look after him well. He may be useful for us, or we may adopt him as a son for us, adopted son for us, and utilize him. That is his plan. But God's plan is to establish Yusuf in a firm place in this world and teach him the interpretation, the inner meaning of the events. Prepare him for life, because he is going to be the real chief executor of the country, so that he will save people's life, millions of people's, maybe millions, maybe not that time the population, but quite a number of people for 14 years, happy life. So also neighboring people also will benefit from him. While he is doing this, he will spread his message as well. He's a prophet. We should never forget that. He is also utilizing this opportunity in order to spread his message. So God is educating him, giving him the opportunity to learn all this. It is two sides of the word always. Always we plan, but God has his own plan. We should never forget that. Of course, take into mind that is my plan, but do I know what God's plan? It means true plan behind it. Let me trust in God. These are beautiful, beautiful examples from the Quran. I really, really love these stories. Deep meaning, mashallah, very practical as well. I love the Quran because of this, so for many reasons, but one of the main reasons is because of these prophetic narrations, full of wisdom, full of guidance. Inshallah, may Allah give us the opportunity to benefit from them. I have this much to say. If anybody else wants to say, otherwise we should end the class now, because I have to pray as well. Those people who live in New York, it is prayer time. It's really too late. Inshallah, we will start the class in time, try to finish it in time, so that we will have time to pray after the class. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim, wa akhiru da'wahum alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.